malicious MCP servers, major Cisco vulnerabilities, and more. I'm Allie Diamond, and this is ThreatWire. 2 million Cisco devices are at risk, potentially. A new zero-day was announced by Cisco on Wednesday, September 24th, 2025. This zero-day CVE 2025-20352 has a CVSS score of 7.7. The vulnerability affects the Simple Network Management Protocol subsystem, or SNMP, of the Cisco iOS and Cisco iOS XE software. All versions of the Simple Network Management Protocol software are affected, which is where the estimated 2 million affected devices comes from. Unauthenticated attackers with low privileges can use denial of service using the SNMP via credentials or read-only community strings or certain versions of user credentials. On the other hand, an attacker with high privileges can execute code as root using the read-only community string or certain version of user credentials. This vulnerability is due to a stack overflow condition in the SNMP subsystem of the affected software. A successful exploit could allow a low-privileged attacker to cause the affected system to reload, resulting in a DOS condition, or allow a high-privileged attacker to execute arbitrary code as the root user and obtain full control of the affected system. Software updates have been released to address the security issue, but no workarounds exist, so update your Cisco devices ASAP. Australia has its eyes on potentially banning GitHub. Australia has passed a law that starting on December 10, 2025, users under the age of 16 will be banned from social media platforms deemed harmful to children. The E-Safety Commission has released a list of platforms that are being investigated as falling under the scheduled ban, including Steam, Instagram, TikTok, and surprisingly, GitHub. The requirements to be under scrutiny include the following: enabling social interaction online between 2 or more users, allowing users to post material on the service, allow users to link to or interact with other users, and to host material that is delivered to end users in Australia. And technically, GitHub does hit all of these requirements. At the moment, companies are being tasked with doing a, quote, self-assessment to determine if they are at risk. They will also have to argue for exemptions. The E-Safety Commissioner has stated that the companies being investigated are on an initial list, and that not all companies on the list are going to be banned. I don't know who else was wondering about this, but the international espionage industry appears to be alive and well. This past week, the US Secret Service announced the discovery of a device farm large enough to, quote, shut down the cellular network in New York City. The US Secret Service discovered several locations within a 35-mile radius of the United Nations General Assembly, which was taking place in New York City. The farms were found to contain 300 co-located SIM servers and over 100,000 SIM cards. In addition to carrying out anonymous telephonic threats, these devices could be used to conduct a wide range of telecommunication attacks. This includes disabling cell phone towers, enabling denial of service attacks, and facilitating anonymous encrypted communication between potential threat actors and criminal enterprises. They found that these farms were used to carry out telecommunication-based threats to US government officials and are the work of nation-state threat actors. The investigation is still ongoing. The first ever malicious MCP server is believed to have been discovered in the wild. This time, it's another NPM-based package. Koi Security found this MCP server to be a copy of a real company's MCP server, the package called Postmark-MCP. The malicious package was found to have 1,500 downloads per week at the time of publishing. There is a real Postmark MCP that is available, but the attacker forked the legitimate MCP owned by Postmark and published the malicious version to NPM under the same name. The change to the MCP server was subtle. The attacker added only one line, that it would BCC all emails sent by the MCP to the attacker's email. Koi Security roughly believes that there could have been up to 15,000 emails per day BCC to the backed actor, given the malicious MCP had an estimated 15,000 downloads per week. The attacker did use a real email and published the package using their real name and legitimate GitHub account. So when the team at Koi reached out to the developer, they were met with no reply. Instead, the attacker just deleted the malicious package and stopped. At the end of the day, the attack was really simple. Just add BCC to the MCP server. It's a one-line change. But the attacker was a legitimate person, so why they did this was still unknown. Or they're just really bad at OPSEC. Thank you so much for watching ThreatWire for the week of September 29th, 2025. If you enjoyed this show, please head over to patreon.com/ThreatWire. As we roll into October, I would love to hear from everyone. How are you feeling? I feel like I've been a bit AFK recently just due to being overwhelmed with life, so I'd really love to chat with y'all in the comments. Look for replies from my personal YouTube account and let me know how it's going. My personal YouTube account is @endingwithali, which is also my handle on every other platform. Thank you so much for watching this week's ThreatWire, and remember, good luck, have fun, and don't get caught.